than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's
And welcome to Superwomen Live at 24 minutes to the hour of 11 o'clock. Superwomen Live, the official show of the Melbourne Vixens and Netball Victoria. This week's edition proudly presented by the Melbourne Vixens premier partner Jason Betting, helping the Melbourne Vixens rest and recover. If you are a Vixens member, you've got value for money. For the third time this year, they've come from behind to win by a point. A stunning comeback against the West Coast Fever, a hugely valuable victory as well. With a couple of sides on 7 wins jostling for a spot in the finals, the Melbourne Vixens moved to 8 wins and take an equal share on the top of the ladder. Northern Mystics got beaten as well, which obviously helps in the endeavours to finish on top of the ladder. Adelaide with some difficult matches to come. It's certainly a significant victory for the Melbourne Vixens. Going to do things a little bit differently tonight, have a little bit of fun, not just myself in the host chair, but we've spoken to Bianca Chatfield a little bit over the last couple of weeks. We've decided to roll her in as co-host for tonight, and I guess people might be sick of me putting the questions to the girls. We're going to have the captain put a couple of the players under the microscope as well. Bianca, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to putting these girls under some pressure.
Now, before you introduce them, I'll pose a couple of questions to you, first of all, on the back of the game. So I don't miss out. So you don't miss out. You can't escape as the skipper. Now, personally, yourself, a key moment late in the game where it was goal for goal. It was a missed pass or just not quite a clean take from Kath Cox from the centre pass. You were able to tidy that up and obviously start the ball rolling for what was the final goal from Karen Howarth to get the job done.
Yeah, I wish it was just an amazing clean intercept that I was able to get, but unfortunately not the case. You know, Kath Cox had a great game and she went out for the centre pass and for some reason it just slipped out of her fingers, and I managed to be able to end up with it in my hands. And as Chelsey Tregear informed me that in that moment she actually had just gone offside as well. So we're very lucky the umpire missed that and let us carry on with it.
Now, obviously, Kath Cox, a long-term Australian teammate, but obviously a rival within the ANZ Championship as well. There appeared to be quite a bit of physicality in the game and push and shove and back and forth. And
that was all from Kath, obviously.
Yeah, certainly. I noticed there was a little bit of that, and she was called quite a bit early in the game. So just one of those ones that's all fair in love and war and everyone moves on? Or
Absolutely. I think Kath and I are really good friends, and sometimes on the court we're probably talking a little bit too much to each other, catching up. But, I think you realise that the more experience you get playing this game and playing for Australia, that when you're training and when you're at a game, you go as hard as you possibly can, and as soon as you walk off that court, then you're friends again, and it doesn't matter what happened on the court. It doesn't get involved in your friendship at all. So I think that comes with experience, and I love it out there having a great tussle with her. She's an amazing player, and unfortunately, you do have to bring out some physicality sometimes just to slow them down.
Now, they're 2-9, but in the last 4 games, they've lost 3 by a point late, so they are playing well. So you're obviously aware of that coming into the game, and their defence has improved a lot as well. I know they've restructured a little bit. Furman, don't know if she's sort of carrying an injury, but she's had a little bit less time on court. They've structured up a bit differently, and it's been quite effective for them. And they're a dangerous side. They might sit third last with 2-9, but they're not losing by much.
No, they're not. And I think we expected them to be where they're at now at the start of the year when they had a great lineup. They played really well at our pre-season tournament, and now they're just starting to hit their straps. You could see how disappointed they were today after the game. Getting so close in the last few games. But unfortunately, that's what this league is all about. It's tough, and you've really got to start performing from the very start of the season if you want to show in the finals.
I think one of the really good stories is Ash Howard. She was on the list a while ago and did her knee and missed the season, went over to the West, and now she's come back and had some court time and had an impact as well. So good to see.
Yeah, it was great to see, and it's really hard playing that position where you don't get a lot of court time, and she hasn't seen any court time at all until this stage. So as all our, her teammates, we just love seeing her out there because she trains hard and she just deserved an opportunity, and she certainly didn't let us down. She played really well today.
And one last one from me. If the Vixens win their last 2 games, you'll probably finish on top of the ladder based on the fixturing for other sides. I know the Mystics and Adelaide are on similar wins, but their draw's tough as well. have you sat down and done equations, looking at it, going, this is what needs to happen for this to happen? If the Mystics are going to host the final, they've got to do this. Do you look at the draw and say, oh, we expect Sydney to make it, we expect the Magic to make it, given they haven't lost for 8 weeks or something?
Not as players. It hurts my head too much at the moment to look at the ladder and see where everyone is. And we'll leave that to the support staff, but you're right, we have to win the next 2 games, so it doesn't matter what's going to happen in the finals. We need to put ourselves in the best position possible, and we've got to worry about next week against the Poles first.
Well, the floor is yours now. We've brought in a couple of the key players in the victory from this afternoon, another 1-point result, and who have we got in the studio?
Well, today I thought my very favourite players, and favourite because they actually agreed to come in with me tonight. So we have Chelsey Tregear, our vice-captain, and also the good old Tegan Caldwell. Now, I'm not sure if any of you are following us on Twitter, but Tegan Caldwell's brought in a little surprise for everyone tonight because she has some talents off the court that I think some people are starting to realise, but people might not have yet been able to experience, and she's brought along her guitar for us, so she might play us some tunes.
We tried to get her to sing last time, so obviously guitar's the next best thing, I'd say.
Well, Chelsey said she was more than happy to do the vocals, and
all right.
We've all been watching The Voice tonight before we came in here, so
There's going to be no vocals. I don't have a musical bone in my body.
But before we talk about that, let's talk about the game a little bit more. So, Chelsea, for you, obviously not starting today was a little bit different. How were you feeling in the first quarter, and how did you prepare yourself to come on for that second quarter and play like you did? Because you did an amazing job.
I think you sort of just warm up as if you're going on court, make sure you're prepared, and watching in the first quarter, it's just, I guess, really exciting, and you're trying to support the girls as much as you can, and I guess watching and trying to sort of look at the positions that you might go on so that you're prepared if you are called up to get on court and you're ready to go. And I think we just we struggled a little bit to get the ball through and get it up to a shot. But that happened in the second quarter as well, and we kind of just didn't really get going probably until the third, and I think Ash came on and did a great job, but again we let it slip again in the last. So we've just got to work out a way that we can put 4 consistent quarters together.
Absolutely. And you're playing on Ash Brazel, who I've had experience playing in a team with her at Fastnet last year, and I just really rate her as one of the up-and-coming centre court players. How did you think playing against her? Do you think her biggest strengths that she's got going for her?
I think definitely she's a very aerial player, so she can leap. Like, she's not that tall, but she can really get up in the air, and she's really fit and athletic, and also a great defensive player as well. So she really blocks you up and makes it hard for you to get that drive onto the circle, and then in attack she loves that big drive in, and so she's a really tough opponent, and she's definitely had a great season. I think she's pretty much held that centre position for Perth all year and done a great job, so definitely a tough opponent today, and I think she did a great job. She had a great game. And with centre this year, what do you prefer? Because you've come from goal attack, for those of you who don't remember, then to wing attack, and now to centre. What's your most preferred position? I guess goal attack's kind of in the past a bit too. I did love it when I used to play it, but I suppose centre wing attack. Love the glory. Yeah. I suppose centre wing attack's sort of where I'm at now, and it's been really good, quite refreshing learning a bit more in centre this year, and I like the fact you're sort of coming into the attack end and you're kind of running into it, rather wing attack you kind of feel like sometimes everything's coming down on top of you. So I've really been enjoying it, trying to mix it up with Maddie and Sarah and work it into the goalers, and defensively obviously it's been a huge challenge for me, something very different, trying to work in with you guys down there and make sure I'm not leaving any holes anywhere, and try and take some intercepts if I can without contacting too much. So but yeah, I think it's slowly coming together, but enjoying the challenge.
Yeah, awesome. Now over to you, Tees. I'm going to put you in the hot seat. How did it feel down there in the tack end today?
It was really good, definitely in patches. Like Chelsey said, we'll still be able to have to be able to put that all together, and I think just basic skills and ball handling is so critical when we get the ball down there, and having you guys in defence work so hard, and then it's so disappointing if we muck up the pass or miss the shot. So they're things that we need to make sure we're not just doing for ourselves, for you guys as well.
And I'm sure I get this question all the time, and I'm sure you guys do because we've had all these close games, that everyone wonders what we do at halftime that makes us turn the games around. And I'm not quite sure what the answer is. But what do you think? What do you think at halftime that the coaches say or that we think in our own heads that makes us come out and play better in that second half?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that or we just get a good break.
I take up
all the time I can. But Julie always has some really good things to say, and we try and get out there and be really positive and switch back on when we do our little warm up drill before we get back out on the court. So I think things like that help us definitely in the second half.
Now the Fever defenders in Chambers and also Chanel Gomez. I think, those two are probably very underrated and we haven't seen much of them. Usually we see a lot of Furman out there. What do you think are their strengths? Like, what do you think that's making them step up and perform so well this season? Yeah,
I reckon just them together in the circle are working really well. They play very much a split ring. So, you've got to get used to your goal attack driving up the middle to try and break that. But then even on the drives, they're all over you, whatever they can do to try and put the pressure on taking that pass as well. Good hands over. So they're, two new girls really this year that have stepped right up and have definitely taken it to the other goalers and putting themselves out there, so they're doing really well.
And looking forward to our next game against the Pulse. Obviously, you've had a little bit of experience now against the New Zealand style of play. What do you think we're really going to have to work hard to do next week?
I reckon we'll just have to move that ball. And, we all know the New Zealanders like a bit of a press. So move the ball around and just have those definite drives to try and stop that. And break that press from happening so we can get the ball down and score.
Now, you're listening to Superwomen Live in Melbourne on SEN 1116 and around the nation on www.sen.com.au. But as we go to the break, Bianca?
Yes, we're going to hear some tunes from Tegan Caldwell. Now, this could be the first of a very long career from Tegan. We might record your single later on. So take it away, Tegan.
Thank you.
On 1116 SEN, Sports Overdrive.
Welcome back to Superwomen Live. Of course, the Melbourne Vixens MVP Awards night is coming up. Join the Melbourne Vixens to celebrate the 2012 season and hopefully a flag at the MVP Awards night on Friday, the 27th of July. Enjoy a night with the Superwomen, dine on delicious food, and be the first to hear the announcement of the Vixens Awards and the coveted 2012 MVP. Go to melbournevixens.com.au to book your ticket. Thank you, Wayne and Geelong, for the SMS. It was spent off the top of my head $5,500 on SMSs to the station, but congratulations just the same. But thank you for sending that one through. But got another interesting segment now, Bianca.
We do. Now, we've been massively supported by our fans this season. It's been incredible. We've had record crowds. We've had record membership. So we wanted to put it out there to all our super fans, some questions to ask Chelsey and Tegan. So are you ready, girls, for some very hard-hitting questions?
All
right, now one from Naomi. Now she said, what are three things that you would have on your bucket list?
Wow.
Do we need thinking music?
See if I can find thinking music.
Three things on the bucket list.
Yeah.
I really want to swim with dolphins.
Nice.
Have you not done that?
No, have
Oh,
you?
yeah,
I have. You're a bit slow.
I'm behind the times.
School days.
Okay, you can butt in wherever you want here, Teague. So that would be one.
Okay. I would say skydiving, which I know Bianca's done.
Yeah, I did that this year.
Give that
I
a
loved
crack.
it. You've got to do it. It's
Really?
the best thing. Yep.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
Okay. I'd like to go to Spain.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to travel probably France. Really want to go there.
And my third for my bucket list. I'd say I'm trying to keep away from the whole travel thing because obviously there's lots of the world to see. Maybe I'll have to go with skydiving as well. I have bungee jumped
Yeah.
in New Zealand, which was pretty amazing, but I have never skydived, so that might be something that
Well, I'm
going to
say bungee jump because I haven't done either of those.
you got to do the one in New Zealand.
Okay.
The
Maybe
next
next
week.
Oh, yeah, maybe. We're going down
Sure,
south.
Julie would
Hopefully
really love
fun
that.
about that, yeah.
You might just have to sneak off and do that in your own time.
Well, that is our own time, so they don't
that's
need
true.
to know what we're doing.
That'll get the adrenaline going.
All right, I'm going to address this one to you, Teags, first. This is from Shivani. She said, which player from the Vixens would you choose to do the amazing race with you? Now, you often see contestants on there either get into little fights or... so you've got to choose very wisely.
That's good. I reckon I'd actually pick you, Bianca.
So would I.
Oh,
So
really?
would you- would you
I
want
just
the-
reckon knowledge.
Oh, yes.
Do you know if you'd want the
actually-
pushover or if you'd want the person that would actually help, someone that you could just dominate and control? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I reckon I'd go with the flow with you, definitely.
Yeah, I just go with Bianca and let her take it all.
I'll drive and you tell me where to
Oh, I
go.
wouldn't want to let you down, girls. Okay, now we have another question that was sent into my Twitter account. The Voice, we all love The Voice. So whose team would you be on? Okay, if they turned around, all judges turned around when you auditioned, like Chelsey will demonstrate later, which judge would you pick to be on their team?
Keith.
Team Keith?
Yeah, I was going to say Keith as
See,
well.
I would say that too. Aren't we all boring? we all go with the
sorry
same.
about that.
Boring.
It took me a
Joel
while to
Bannon
make...
makes me laugh.
He
but-
does. It took me a while to make that decision, though.
And who's going to win tomorrow?
Carice.
Carice.
Yes. How
I'm
good
a big
was her
Carice
Hallelujah
fan.
song?
Yeah, amazing.
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 Now, another one sent in from Twitter. What's the most used app on your iPhone?
Oh, God, I am the least tech-savvy person there is. I actually don't know if
But
I've
you do
even-
have an iPhone, so we're
I do
impressed
have
with
an
that.
iPhone. I'm not sure I've ever actually downloaded an app, but no, I use MyFitnessPal a little bit.
Yes.
Follow what I'm eating, that
Yep.
sort of thing. I also use another thing called this tiltometer, which is like an angle finder at work to measure people's calf flexibility. So it comes in quite handy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well done. What about you, T?
I would say I've got a couple, and one of them will be Tabs, which is guitar chords.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, look up a song and search it and see if I can play it. I'm still limited with my chords at the moment. I'm also enjoying, thanks to Bianca, the readability app.
Oh,
Got
actually,
me onto
We
that.
need to tell more people about that.
Yeah.
So anyone who uses Twitter and when someone puts up a blog to a link to it, you can click on the link, add it to your readability app, and so it's always stored there, so you can always go back to it. You don't actually have to be online to use it. So great when you're travelling and
so
on
good.
planes.
And you don't have time to read it when you check them the first time, so I'll save that for later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, another Twitter question. Who is the preferred team you'd like to play in the grand final?
Oh, preferred team.
Yeah.
So that
Nah.
could mean, well, could mean anything.
A preferred team.
I've noticed this year Adelaide can't get anywhere near the Vixens.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you've got it over Adelaide, but then they pull out a game like that against Swifts today.
They were
so,
incredible today, weren't they?
Yeah, I think we can beat any of the teams there. So I would say probably I wouldn't mind playing Mystics. I'd love to beat Mystics in the grand final.
Yeah, it'd be nice to come up against a team
Team that we've lost against.
yeah, that we haven't beaten, and then to be able to prove that we can beat them.
Yeah, I
and,
agree. Like, we could definitely beat Swifts, surely.
And I'd
Lost twice
love
this
for
year.
the Mystics, you know, pull on the chairlift again
Yeah,
and
we-
actually do something about it.
Deal. Agreed.
In between that
come
On
on,
it,
Tegan,
on
we've
it.
worked it out now.
We have.
And which player from another ANZ team would you wish was on your team? Great questions, by the way, that we've been
Yeah,
sent
well
in.
done.
Absolutely.
Would you wish that was on your team? That's really hard because that's
I don't
kind
want to
of-
shaft any of
Yeah,
my
like I
girls that
love
we
it,
have.
Come on, B.
Oh, sorry, I'm just asking the questions that have been sent in.
You can't really nominate an attack or a defender with Tegan and Bianca. It's like, well,
And you in the middle.
Yeah, maybe I'll just have to go with that though and give them
Fair
a little
to-
wink
make-
when I say it. I guess God, that's pretty tough. But maybe one of the big goal shooters, a Romelda Aiken.
Romelda.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can't really go wrong with that.
Have a crack at throwing her the ball.
Yeah,
in
maybe
circle.
maybe a Monia Gerard just to
Yeah.
rival you, B. Seems
Stir you up a little.
Okay, and then last question. Something you've bought but you've never ever used.
That's a good question.
It is, isn't it?
Oh, I know. I bought an ice cream maker and I have never ever used it.
Ice
I bought
cream maker.
Yeah.
Why
And
did you
then
buy
I
that?
was like, this is going to be the best thing ever. I'm going to make so many different flavours. And then it was like, I can just go down the supermarket and buy it for like $5. So it's never come out of the box.
Well, I have a bread maker now, which I'm yet to use, but determined to use it.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I reckon
so
that'll be good.
I
Once you
really
get
want to
using
crack out that and start baking some bread.
Now, we got here a segment called the Inside Word, so I guess that's up to you, Bianca, to grill them now. Things that you think might be interesting to listeners to know, some of the inside word around some of these girls.
And feel free, let's grill Tegan first. So, Chelsea,
Okay.
feel free to step in
buddy.
with. Yeah, you can butt in any
Love it.
time
Go
you
on now.
like.
Go on now.
Right, so Tegan,
Yes,
now you've just purchased your own property.
I have.
Is that right?
Yes,
Yes.
with my parents. Thank you.
That's right. How exciting.
Very exciting.
What's the hardest thing you're finding about having your own place?
The cleaning,
The cleaning.
maybe? I do like to keep the house tidy, but I suppose I'm out a lot. Dad actually vacuumed for me not that long ago. Thanks, Dad.
way.
He's listening. Thanks, Dad.
We need to put a stop to
He
that, I
snuck
think.
in. He snuck in and just did it real quickly.
Yeah, right.
But no, the cleaning. Like, I'm finding time, but I'd like to find more time.
Now, if you're in the Olympics coming up, obviously netball's not, all right? But if you're in the Olympics, what sport would you be competing in? Oh. And, of course, you would win gold, but you just need to choose a sport.
Oh, okay. Let's go with.
Surely you'd be sprinting.
Do you
Yeah.
reckon sprinter?
For anyone who
could
doesn't
take that to the
know,
labs.
I'm sure
She's
you've
a
all seen
freak.
Tegan out on court. Yeah, she's a freak. We are very jealous.
Thank you. Thank you. No, yeah, all right. I'll go sprint.
Yeah.
100
that
metre,
on.
flat out.
Yeah, just burn them.
Put on a show like they all do when they walk up to the
Short
starting
and
blocks.
sharp, so I like it.
Pump your biceps just so
Take a
everyone can
guitar.
see.
Usain Bolt turned to the crowd on the way
Before I
past.
get out there. Yeah.
What about you, Chelsea? What event would you do?
I would love to be a swimmer. I'd love
Yeah,
to be
I'm
a
the
swimmer.
same.
So, yeah, I just
So
reckon
good.
I don't really know why. I like looking at the black line all the time, but I love watching the swimming. I love swimming myself, so that's what I'd love to go to the Olympics for.
Now, Tegan, what's one thing that people would know about you?
Wouldn't.
No.
Besides the whole guitar playing
Yeah.
and playing the piano at church on Sundays when I'm rostered on.
Do you sing?
Oh, not by myself. Maybe when there's other people, they might stick a mic in front of me, but that's as far as it gets.
Now, Chelsea, over to you.
Yes.
Now, today I think at the game we heard about something about you being a clean freak. Is that right? Do you want to elaborate? So at our games, for those of you who don't go, there's always a little bit of a segment that they put up where it shows about what are some of the girls' habits or what's something you might not know about the girls. And one thing that came up was about Chelsea's cleaning habits. Do you want to elaborate for us?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this came about from our camp when we were all sleep deprived and completely delirious. It was at the end of the camp. We were staying at this lodge and we had to clean it once we finished.
Yeah.
And so you were all sitting on the bus asleep, like giving me nothing. And I'm in there, the bathrooms, there's stuff everywhere, the floors are filthy. So I thought I'll just give this a quick clean up because we're all going to have to come back in and do it anyway. So I've got your backs. But sure
Just
enough,
so you know, I was
Julie
one of the
Hornbeck-
last on the bus, just so you know.
Oh,
yeah, right. But yeah, the coach just happened to be still inside seeing me cleaning, so I might have got a few little brownie points.
Now, that is not the only thing you get brownie points for with the
here we
coach.
go.
So, the coach's pet is the one and only Chelsey Tregear.
Here we go.
Now, I believe at one training this year you were described as being the shining light of the team. Can you explain how that made you feel, sitting in front of all the girls and being referred to as the shining light?
I pretty much wanted to get up and walk home. I was absolutely horrified, was trying to find a chair to hide under. But no, I have no idea where that came from. And the whole coach's pet thing all started, I need to get this point across, back doing the beep test, and you do the beep test, so you go up to the line, back to the line, and you're meant to stay in time with the beeps. None of you girls stay in time with the beeps ever. You're all running ahead of it, so I stay in time with the beeps as you're meant to do it. But every time I stayed in time with the beep, I got a "well done, Chelsea" from the coach. She would have said it about 30 times, and I've never lived it down.
Now, in your career off the court, you are a podiatrist.
I am.
Good old Moorabbin Foot Centre. Get down there.
Thanks, little plug.
Now, you obviously deal with all the girls' feet at some stage. You're the first one we run to when we have any issues. Who has the worst feet in the team?
Oh, the worst feet.
It's unfortunate.
Everyone's feet are pretty bad. Like,
I take offence at that.
Yeah,
I look
you
after
should. They all need some attention. I don't know. No one's got shocking feet. Back in the days, Kestra's days, Beck Bully's feet were terrible. But,
who now plays for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, that's right. So, but no, all the girls, they're all pretty good. Everyone sort of is always coming up and getting me to look after them, taking off the hard skin and stuff. So they all trying to keep on top of them a little bit.
Thank you, girls, for a little bit of the inside word there. Just a couple before I let you go, just on a general note as we look ahead towards the finals. One side that you mentioned, the Mystics, is a side that you haven't knocked off yet this season. The Magic you beat by points. They were, don't think they'd won a game at that point in time. They've won 7 in a row since. So they're a side that's looming dangerously potentially as well. They're into the 4 now, and they've got an easier draw than the Swifts. So you think they might actually hold them out?
Yeah, well, I think so. Like I said, I haven't really analysed it too much, but, the New Zealand sides are tough. They have the players. Mystics and Magic both have the players in their team to pull out anything. They're just a real unknown factor. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they do get in there and really challenge for that title.
And another one from a defensive point of view, Adelaide tweeted they wanted a name for the combination of Shani Layton and Beck Bully. Came up with something like Label, I think it was. Is there any combination name that you think might be appropriate if you're defending with Corletto or if you're defending with Mentor or something like that?
Any name.
Men Chat or something? I don't know.
Men Chat. I think we can be more creative than that.
What can we come up with?
Oh, dear.
G-Field.
G-Field.
That's not bad.
I like that.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
How about an attacking combination? If you're, let's say it's Kate Beveridge and Tegan Caldwell.
Call Bev.
Call Bev. Perfect.
Surely it's got to be something to do with the hair colour.
Yeah, we'll take that.
We've also got a text in here. Someone asked me about what does split ring mean in defence. Do you know what that means, Darren?
I don't. I can probably just hazard a guess that it's something to do with cutting the circle or something when you're like the way that you attack or cut across the circle or something like that.
Actually, the opposite end of the court, so it's a defensive thing. So when we call a split ring, it's when basically that rather than defenders run all across the circle, we pretty much split it in half and we just swap on to whichever player comes into our area. So good question off the SMS there.
Very good. Thank you to all of you for coming in. Been a bit of fun, been something different as well, and congratulations again on the win. Good to have everyone up and about after that, and just about seals first of all the finals berth, and now we look to obviously get the top 2 finish, the home final, and the hopefully a clean pass straight through to the grand final.
Absolutely. It's been 3 long years not being in the finals, so we certainly want to make sure we get in there and cause some trouble.
And a doubleheader in New Zealand as well with Central Pulse and Southern Steel, so a good intense way to lead into the finals as well.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. A week away in New Zealand. We're not coming home in between those 2 games, so some fun times I think that we'll have over there in between games.
And I think a lot of the Vixens fans have won the chance to head across to Wellington and join in some of the festivities with the team as well, which would be good fun. It's been